Is it a bad movie? Not necessarily. However, I did have some lingering thoughts about the movie, so let's talk about it. It's a South African Netflix original movie inspired by another Netflix original called A Niger Christmas. So the movie is about a mother who is desperate for her 3 sons to get married. So she promises to give her house to whoever gets married first. So this sets off the entire debauchery that happens. So the movie begins with Sandile, played by Lunga Shabalala, who, by the way, shout out to his agents and management, because I have seen him in a lot of Netflix movies. Now his acting is another topic for another day. He's definitely getting that Netflix bag, so shout out to him. Anyway, Sandile and his girlfriend Sente are played by Mutwaledi Situmo. They are on the way to church, and you can see that the two are very much in love. Who, like I say, is played by Lunga. Then he's on the way to church with his girlfriend. Her name is Sente, or Sente Baling. And as they're driving to church, you can see that the couple is very much in love. They're kissing, holding hands, smiling. But right at the beginning, we begin to get a glimpse of the type of person that Sandile is. So they make it to church, and this is where we meet the rest of Sandile's family. We meet his older brother Menzi, played by Sparky Kulu, and we meet Sky, played by Reine Obuso. And we also, of course, they meet their mother, who is played by Dudu Zilengolo. At the church, we get to see that there's a little bit of competition happening between Sandile's mom and one of the ladies in their women's society. So their mom is Mangubeni, and then the other woman in the society is Mama Silo. Yeah? And if you know that church, that uniform, and you know anything about that uniform and that church, you will know that competition runs deep in the veins. So the competition continues. So whatever beef these two women have, it continues up until after the service, where they are speaking to Umfundisi, who, by the way, is played by Capella. Not Capella. It's played by Capella wetu. Mike Mvelase, yeah. So outside, Mama Silo is bragging about her children she has with her. One of them just had a baby, and the other one is engaged to be married to a doctor. So of course, this gives her more points to Mfundisi, which I don't understand why. Maybe by Mfuna. Now this causes Mangubeni to be like, I also have something to brag about. And she brings up that Usandile is going to propose to his girlfriend at night at Menzi's restaurant. Yeah? We get to see that Usandile is a music producer, and that he has recently come off a high from a song that he had that became a smash hit, and he's now currently working on the next hit. So he's at the studio with his vocalist Kels, played by Didintle Kuno. Yeah, anyway, they're working on the song, but they're not quite finding the right song. So while they're at the studio, Sente arrives so that they can go to the restaurant. Yeah. And she says something that makes us think about the fact that she has gotten tired of the routine things that they do in the relationship. So she basically said that she's not excited about the fact that they're going to Menzi's restaurant yet again. So that will give us the idea that going to the restaurant is something that they do quite often. So okay, by a restaurant. When they get to the restaurant, when they arrive at the restaurant in the parking lot, Sente says, can he please not flirt with the waitresses inside? Sandile responds to this by saying that, first saying he doesn't flirt with girls, wara wara, and then he responds by saying that even if he does flirt with girls, he always comes back home to her. Like, bleh. What is she supposed to say to that? Is that like some kind of compliment or something? I don't know. That's what Sandile says. So while walking to get inside the restaurant, Sente realizes that she forgot her jacket. So she walks back to Sandile's car just to grab her jacket and they can go inside. And that's when she finds a bra in the backseat and confronts him about it. But hold that thought. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, we get a glimpse of Menzi. Menzi, the boss, remember it's his restaurant. So Menzi is what you would call an insufferable boss. We are meant to view Menzi as this shy, anxious person, but all we get is this insufferable and verbally abusive man who doesn't know how to communicate without insulting his employees, particularly the chef, who actually ends up quitting that night because he can't take the abuse anymore. The chef quitting on this particular night is Menzi's worst nightmare, because remember that his mom invited basically everyone at the church to come and witness Sandile propose. So he has to put up a good show. So Menzi is desperate for the chef to stay, so he chases after the chef, and this leads them to outside where Sandile and Sente are still fighting about the brand. And as they argue, all the guests are now arriving in the parking lot and everyone is watching them. Sandile denies knowing about this bra, knowing who the bra belongs to, and Sente doesn't believe him and goes on to say that she's tired of him not taking her and their relationship seriously, and she's put up with him and his games or whatever for the past 6 years. And then she decides to walk away, and instead of Sandile running after her to like apologize, maybe, you know, have a private conversation, he stands there and shouts that if she wants to go, she should go. Now, this is essentially a breakup. Yeah, it's a breakup. It's emotional. A lot of feelings are going around. Yeah. Sente is close to tears. You would think Sandile would express some remorse or frustration, but that would be asking for too much from Ulunga Shabalala. And that's my personal beef with Ulunga Shabalala, is that none of his roles are like, I don't know, man. The acting, his expression in the scene is so out of place. And it's flat because there's literally nothing, and this expression that he shows here is what you're gonna see throughout the movie. Whatever the emotions, whatever the scene demands, this is how we will look. All this riffraff causes the mom to faint outside the restaurant, and she wakes up at home surrounded by her 3 sons. When the mom wakes up, this is when she calls all her sons on their business, tell them what they're doing wrong, what she expected from them. Wara. Sana, am I controlling with the lighter shade? Firstborn. Anyway, but this is also when she tells them that she's planning on selling the house, and unless one of them gets married, she will give whoever gets married the house. Yeah, basically this is where the essence of the movie starts, where she says that whoever gets married first will inherit the house and they can live in it with their family. So from this point on, I will talk about each brother's journey to the altar. So first up, we have Sky. Sky is a fashion designer, and his studio is at his mom's house in the garage. So we find Sky in the studio talking to his friend Lynx, and he's telling Lynx the predicament that he's in, the predicament that he and his brothers are in actually. And Lynx asks him if his mom is okay with him being in a gay marriage, and oh yeah, this is much better, I should do this. And he responds by saying that he's not gay, and she, like the rest of his family, don't believe him, and I guess it's because of the way he dresses and him being a fashion designer and all of that. But we come to understand that this is the running gag of the whole movie, where everyone constantly thinks Sky is gay and he denies being gay. But anyway, Sky and Lynx come up with a plan for the two of them to get married. Lynx's reason to get married is to get her parents off her back about them constantly asking her about a man or a boyfriend. I don't know. Sky's reasoning for wanting to get married is, of course, to inherit the house and also not to lose the studio as it's at the house. So they come up with the plan, and that they're gonna tell the parents over a lunch with Lynx's parents as well as his mom. Moving over to the restaurant, we find Menzi in the kitchen. He's frantic because, remember, the other night the chef quit and he has not been able to find a replacement for him, and he then is currently running the kitchen himself. And given that he's that's too much. And given his anxiousness, he's yet again masking his feelings by lashing out at employees. But lucky for him, his saving grace arrives and we meet Dina. Dina is played by Ramudibe, and we don't know much about Dina except the fact that she looks dope AF and she has that grunge edgy feeling about her, that no nonsense type of person. You can tell that she doesn't play games, or she talks I'll take nonsense from anyone. Anna, never mind this makeup, just enjoy the story right now, don't mind the makeup. Anyway, Dina walks in, immediately intimidates Menzi, and he dismisses her, asking if she's a chef. When she shows that she's a chef, he goes on to say that she's not a good fit for the restaurant. But given the fact that she looks scary AF, she ends up working there and even having her own signature dish. One of the customers is not happy about Dina's dish and asked to return it. A sensible man would, or owner, I think, would exchange that gift for whatever the customer likes, something new, or they would give the customer the meal for free. Anything that is sensible, right? But Menzi is not a sensible person. So what does Menzi do? Menzi goes and tries to force feed the customer the soup. The dish is a soup, by the way. So Menzi goes and tries to force feed the soup down this customer's throat. I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just like, come on, bro. Where would you find a restaurant owner who would do that? Go and force feed a customer soup. Anyway, while he does this, the soup spills on the customer. They have a quarrel, whatever. The customer leaves. But while Menzi is fighting with this customer, Dina is watching from the kitchen and she's impressed, I guess. Anyway, she's honored that he fought for her or defended her honor. And then while they're talking and cleaning up, Menzi also tells her about the fact that he's worried because they have this deal that they had made with their mom and he needs to find a wife. And Dina, because Menzi did this favor for her, she is happy, more than happy, to assist Menzi find. Oh guys, I'm holding my breath because eyebrows, Anna, they're not your friend. So Dina is going to assist Menzi find a wife, like Lynx is assisting Sky. No, Menzi gives Dina a spreadsheet of his requirements of who the wife of his dreams is, and then this leads to Menzi going on a series of dates where he's trying to find the one. Hey, go Sam. I'm doing my brows. Don't live with me. to your friend. But you have to trust the process. So up next is Sandile. Remember, he and Sente have broken up because of what happened at the restaurant. So Sandile is at his house. The gets an unexpected visit from Lunga. So Lunga is played by Uskumba, who appears to be working for a loan shark called Brazix. And Lunga is there to collect on a debt that Sandile has with Brazix. And now Lunga is there to collect the car so that he pays that debt off. But Sandile manages to convince Lunga not to take the car and promises to pay him back somehow. And yeah, that's basically what that scene is about. But during this scene, we also find out that Ulunga is also a fan of Sandile and his music, and he plays it for him and says that he's his biggest fan, wara wara, and that Lunga has connections in radio, and if ever Sandile needs to promote his next single, he should hit him up. So no matter face it, man. After this, Sandile goes to see Sente to apologize about everything that happened, and he brings her a nice beautiful bouquet of roses. How sweet, right? Wrong, because Sente is allergic to roses. And her man of 6 years doesn't remember that. This man is trying to kill you. This man is trying to kill you. After the whole thing with the roses, Sandile tries to go to Sente's job to apologize, but he's prevented from seeing her. He's stopped by Sente's work husband, Tabiso, and that's the first and last time we ever see Tabiso. So it's actually not that important. As a work husband, he needed to have a bigger role. And he goes home, and he and Kels come up with a brilliant idea to go and serenade her at work. Ciao. Now listen. I'm not judging anyone. This is a me issue because I'm the one with secondhand embarrassment. But if you're gonna come to my job when Sente is funny, cause yeah, no. No. No, child. Sandile and with this girl, they go to Sente's job to serenade her. Right. And they ask girls. Essentially, at their job, he asked Sente if they can meet and talk it out at Menzies restaurant, and Sente agrees. So, moving on, the siblings gather at the mom's house for dinner, where Sandile updates everyone that he and Sente are working on fixing things and between them. But this is good news for the mom. It gives her hope yet again, but it's not good news for Menzi and Sky because they also are vying for the house. So they come up with a plan to sabotage his date with Sente, because obviously they know it's going to be at the restaurant, by putting in food that he is allergic to. Yeah. So, and what you call Sandile meet up at Menzies, and while they're at the table, Menzi and Scar are in the kitchen putting in anchovies. I don't know what anchovies were, actually I had to Google, and it looks like a type of seafood. I don't know if it's a fish or seafood, child, but he's allergic to that, and Menzi is busy putting it in his food. Tana, it's funny how people here are casually trying to kill each other. While Sandile and Sente are talking at the restaurant, a woman comes out of nowhere, walks straight up to Sandile, whispers in his ear in the most random American accent that you should meet me in the bathroom. I promise you that's how she sounded. She, guys, what does Sandile do? Not only double takes this woman, he also stares and he also smiles. Sente girl, look at me. Blink twice if you're in a hostage situation, because ain't no way. Anyway, after this minor distraction, according to Sente, according to me it's a major distraction, would have resulted in the end of the date. But anyway, I'm not Sente yet again. Sente does a weak attempt of leaving, but Sandile convinces her to stay so he can explain. However, he explains nothing and instead just asks them if they can start over. But Sente says she's willing to start over with him if he can explain who the bra belongs to. And of course, yet again, Sandile denies knowing anything about the bra. And before he can give any detail about anything about his lame excuse, his stomach starts giving him problems and he needs to go to the bathroom. So as he does that, Sente leaves, and that's the end of their night. Eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Sandile takes Sente on a hot air balloon date where she tells him yet again that she's looking for something serious. Sandile is not offering that, so why bangabehlukane? Why bengohlukane? Sandile doesn't hear a single word she says, but instead focuses on the fact that Sente still has feelings for him, which, if he was a grown-up with any brain cells, he would know that if you are in a relationship with someone for that long, of course you won't get over them just like that. So of course she has feelings for you, but that's not the point. You are not growing up and she is ready for someone who is grown up. But no, he doesn't hear any of that. After they get off the balloon, they have another conversation. I don't know what else needs to be said. Sente girl. They continue talking. Sandile talks about the fact that Sente saves him and has always saved him, yada yada yada. And I guess this is supposed to be some kind of compliment, because Sente is happy about the fact that he recognizes that she's his savior. Why? Anyway, she's happy about the fact that he recognizes that she's held him down sharp. He admits that he's never deserved her. Sandile proposes again. Sente asks him yet again about the bra, and tired of denying, or finally realizing that he has to tell the truth, he tells her that he doesn't remember who the bra belongs to, but he knows that it meant nothing, but promises Sente that he has changed and that she should believe him. But I didn't see him change. Did you see him change? But that doesn't matter, because somehow, from somewhere, Sente has seen him change and she forgives him. Sente, blink twice, Sente girl. You can trust me, blink twice. Sente believes that Sandile has changed, and so she forgives him. She accepts his proposal and they go to the restaurant to announce the big news. So they go to the restaurant to announce the big news. When they arrive, their celebration is cut short because Menzi basically exposes the whole entire deal that they have with their mom by saying that when they get to the house, they should allow him to visit. Of course, Sente didn't know about this part of the deal, so dun dun dun. What happens? They break up again. I don't know how many times now they've broken up, but they break up, and this time it's for good. of which is good. So as a form of revenge, Sandile gate crashes Sky's lunch with the parents, with Lynx and the parents. And however, when he arrives, he's not alone. He walks in with Gugu. Who is Gugu, you ask? Gugu is apparently Lynx's girlfriend that Lynx kept secret from her parents for a reason. We don't know the reason because it's not shared, but whatever the reason, I don't care. But she kept her secret for a reason. But that doesn't matter. In a moment of seconds, all of that does not matter because Sandile links to out herself to her parents. How is Sandile the person we're supposed to be rooting for in this movie? Someone explain to me how. How am I supposed to be rooting for Sandile? He's the guy I'm supposed to be rooting for to get married, right? But how? Explain to me for 10 marks. The aftermath of the fallout between Sandile, Dina and Menzi have a heart-to-heart moment where Dina essentially tells him that he needs to start living his own life instead of focusing on needing to sabotage his brother, which I concur. But this heart-to-heart moment leads to Menzi having one more speed date or date. Actually meets the female version of him. This lady, I don't know if I got her name or I forgot her name, but I have no record of what is this lady's name. I just called her Menzi's, the female version of Menzi. But her character is played by Sishendaba. But this lady is basically Menzi on steroids. Like everything, they both have the spreadsheet. They're both very particular, straight to the point, wada. So they have their date which feels like a business meeting. They have their date, and at the end of their date they decide that they will be engaged. They are engaged actually, and they need to meet with Menzi's mom to get her blessing before they go ahead with the wedding. At the meeting with the mom, she reluctantly gives them their blessing, but she can pick up that something is brewing between the Menzi and Dina. Sandile officially has moved on, or officially is getting over his breakup with Sente, and he's at the studio. They finally find. Oh no, I ruined it. But while Sandile is working on the song, perfecting it or mixing it or whatever DJs do, producers do, Lunga walks in and takes the laptop again to pay off the debt. But later on, Lunga visits Sandile at his penthouse and tells him that somehow he managed to submit that new song they were working on to radio stations, and it is now gaining attention. It's charting. And after this, he and Kels attend a launch party for the song. The launch party is organized by Ulunga, who's now their manager or the promoter. I don't know. Is he out of the launch up business? I don't know. We'll find out next on Dragon Ball Z. At the launch party at the club, Nomfundo Mo makes a cameo. Shout out to her. She makes a cameo as herself. And Ulunga, aka Mr. Manager, tells Sandile and Kels that he has organized a residency for them in Dubai. Yep. From Soweto to Dubai, son. He has organized a residency for them in Dubai for a whole year. They just have to say yes, and it's Dubai to Khakhan. Kels immediately says yes because she's been waiting for an opportunity like this and she's excited. Sandile is second guessing because he's still thinking about him and Sente and the possibility that maybe they might, rekindle. Also thinking about the fact that he will be leaving his entire family. But eventually Kels manages to convince Sandile about this opportunity and how great it is for them and their music, blah blah blah, and he agrees that they go. So we're now at the Christmas church service, and the pastor's mic has a fault. For some reason it stops working, playing off the speakers, and somehow the mic that is in his office starts playing is on and is playing, is the one connected to the speakers. And over the speakers we hear two people talking about their love, confessing it to one another, blah blah blah. And when we go and investigate, Masilo and Mangweni and the pastor and everyone goes and investigate. Oh, this is nice. They go and investigate where the sound is coming from, and that's when we find out. Look around and you'll find out. They go and investigate where the sound is coming from, and we find that the two lovebirds are none other than Sky and Lebogang. Who is Lebogang, you ask? Lebogang is Mama Silo's daughter, who is engaged to Dr. Khumalo, remember? Yes, that child is the one engaged to be married to Dr. Khumalo, is the one professing her love for Sky. But overall, everyone is shocked, but they get over it. After the scandalous exposure of Sky and Lebogang at the church, Lebogang and Sente go on a picnic because they're friends. Mind you, we are more than halfway, like maybe 3/4 through the movie, and we've never seen Sente and Lebogang together, but they are BFFs. That's what you are telling me, that Lebogang and Sente are BFFs. That's what I must believe. Anyway, Lebogang and Sente go on a picnic where Lebogang is now spilling the tea of everything that was happening behind the scenes because she couldn't speak to anyone at the time while they were keeping their relationship a secret. So she tells Sente about all their shenanigans and escapade, including a very important one. Lebogang once forgot her bra in Sandile's car when Sky had it. How convenient. At 1 hour 20 minutes, that's when you find that out. How convenient. So of course this makes Sente realize her mistake. So she realizes that she made a mistake by breaking up with Sandile because of the bra, because he really didn't know. Personally, I don't believe anything coming out of Sandile's mouth, so I would continue with my life. But that's not me, that's not to you, boo. So Sente now has to rush to the airport to stop Sandile from leaving, or to tell him she knows about the bra. She rushes off to the airport and manages to catch him before they board the plane. Kels walks on ahead in the hope that Sandile will catch up to her. Sente tells him that she knows he lied about the bra, and he tries to explain. She stops him and tells him that she has forgiven him, but I'm still confused because when she asked about the bra, Sandile lied through his teeth. A lie that was very much believable and very much convincing. But now we are supposed to just forget about that part. The two make up and go to the New Year's Eve church concert Sandile doesn't go to Dubai anymore. Kel's flying solo. So Sente and Sandile arrive at the party. They meet up with his mom. The New Year's Eve party. Mangubeni, Masilo, and Kapela are scrambling to find entertainment because the people that Mama Silo booked for the event are not shown. Anyway, Sandile and Sente tell Mangubeni that they have reunited and are engaged, and she's happy for them. Elsewhere at the party, Dina confesses love to Menzi, but subsequently quits because she is embarrassed to be in love with someone who's in love with someone else, as well as a nerd giving that you're not really cool chick. This leads to Menzi to run off to his fiancée and breaks up with her and runs back to Dina to tell her that he is also in love with her, but Dina does not believe him and starts walking away from him. So in an effort to stop Dina from walking away, Menzi goes on the stage, because remember there's no entertainment. Menzi goes on stage and starts singing Dina's favorite song. But this obviously doesn't go well, but it opens an opportunity for Nomfundo Mo to make yet another cameo, shoutouts to her, and save the day. So this is the end of the movie, by the way. We're at the end. In the end, the mom gives the house to Sandile, but all the three siblings agree that the house should remain in the mom's ownership, so that way all of them can continue to have access to it. So the new year countdown begins and everyone goes off to celebrate with their significant other. And this is how the movie ends. Okay, by the way, we also get a little post-credit scene where we are told that Kels ends up marrying Lunga in Dubai. So Kels marries Lunga. Female version of Menzi meets Dr. Kumalo at the party, and they end up together. Guys, this movie has nothing to do with love. This movie has nothing to do with Soweto. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It made me very cynical. So, my final thoughts on the movie. 1, men are not the prize, but if you are desperate enough, you will settle for anything, because that is exactly what Sente did. Guys, she deserves so much better than Sandile, but her need to be in a relationship with someone serious, wara. All that talk that she gave Sandile, that's the exact reason why. That's the exact thing that prevented her from seeing that Sandile will never change. And honestly, if you were someone like Sandile, or you with someone Sandile who's like Sandile, the reason they are not changing is because they can have the best of both worlds. They need to, because whether he changes or not is a non-factor. Sente will always stay. So okay, why? So that's why Sandile will never change. So he won. He is the prize. Not only is his character poorly written, like, I get that they're trying to show us like how bad it can be, but like, he had no redeemable traits. There was nothing like you couldn't say, but at least to Sandile, there's nothing redeemable about Sandile. Thirdly, there's too many storylines in the movie, which resulted in most of the characters not being fleshed out. Most of the characters are not fleshed out enough to make the story, like, I don't know what you call. For example, Sky Sky played a huge role in the plot twist of the movie, but all we know about him is that he's not gay, and we don't believe him right up until the end of the movie. But that's all we know about Sky. He's a fashion designer. He's a fashion designer and he's not gay. So what else do we know about him? But he plays the plot twist of the bra and the car and Lebuchang. But we don't know anything else about him. So there's too many storylines. They should have had one. And personally, I think the movie should have followed Utina and Mainzi. I think they were better fit than Sente and Sandile, mainly because Sandile is a walking, talking red flag that no one should ever settle for. That's just me though. Lastly, this movie has nothing to do with Soweto. If you didn't know, nothing about this movie has anything to do with Soweto. But I guess we just needed to give it a name. It could have been based anyway. Alexander love story. It could have been Tibisa love story. It could have been anything. It has nothing to do with the story. So what was the point? Like, again, I episode it. Oh, I don't think I like this one. No, ma'am. Am I mad? Hey, wait too. I'm not mad. Anyway, let me fix my hair and I'll come back once. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, look out for one of my upcoming videos where I'll be talking about another SA Netflix original called Love, Sex and 30 Candles. If you've watched it, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.